has really been what's kind of keeping us going. And we're here today to honor Greg, an amazing, amazing man who all of us maybe have known personally or have never met at all, but I do know that he had that ability to touch anybody he came in contact with through his website. You got to meet him for 2 seconds. He was a man that inspired the world, and each and every one of you are the fuel that kept him going, and the fuel that he needed to motivate and to continue to inspire and live out that dream. So thank you to everyone. We're here today. We have some really good industry friends of Greg that are going to speak here today. Greg's family is here, his sister and his dad. So it really means the world to everyone. So thank you so much. We're going to start off and hand it off to David Moore.
Thank you, Christina. What's up, everybody? I'm gonna do the best I can to give you what I know with the time that I spent with Greg, so you can understand the type of man that Greg was. Greg was a soldier of service. He was never above anyone. He was always striving to connect to those that needed something, okay? Soldier of service. Now his greatness, everybody looks at him. He's a fitness icon. Over 200 cover of magazines, films. How did he build all this? What's his story? Where did he come from? All-American wrestler. 2-time collegiate All-American wrestler. West Point graduate. Okay? He came from a loving, caring family values that helped develop that character strength. Okay? But you can sum Greg up with 2 words. Heart and balls. Greg had the balls, okay, to say what everyone else was afraid to say, okay? I met Greg in 2005. I was in New York City. I just went through a divorce. Lost my house, custody battle, the whole thing. Confused, clouded. What am I going to do in my life? Greg, I met Greg at Men's Health, 2005 at a photo shoot. This guy, man, he's like a sniper scope. He's got his stuff together, knows exactly how to execute a plan. You put him in a crazy place like New York City, just came back from military service. Put him right in the biggest city on the East Coast. Here, make a career. That's exactly what he did. He told me a few words, he gave me a few pearls, he told me what to do and what not to do. Control your image, David. Find a way to make things happen. Well, how do I do that, Greg? I found out. Heart. This is what I'm talking about, Greg's heart. Walking the streets in New York, he's going to a casting, he meets a guy at a casting. He's a fashion designer, young designer. Hey Greg, man, I saw you on the cover of Muscle and Fitness. I'm a young designer, I'm developing my own jean line. Would you model for me? Yeah, what do you want? It's like, he calls his agent. Adam, so, no, this guy needs to pay you, man. You're just on the cover of Muscle and Fitness, you got a career. You gotta make money, you got bills to pay. Greg said, no, I'm gonna help this guy out. So he's gonna give me a couple pairs of jeans, I'm gonna do a couple photos with his jeans, and that's that. Little did Greg know that act of generosity, that act of kindness, would lead to one of the biggest fragrance campaigns of any fitness model that's ever been on the planet. $250,000 fragrance campaign for Terry Mugler. Terry Mugler sees a poster in a bus stop, like 5x7, little shot. There's Greg's abs. Everybody knows what he looks like, right? Military core, strong, in a pair of jeans. Terry Mugler points at that little poster, says, I want that guy. I want that guy. Greg happens to be in Chicago at the time, sleeping in a car. He's in the doghouse. That's okay, he loved dogs. So he had no problem sleeping with them. So, as the story goes, he finds a way to get a flight from Chicago 3 days before Christmas, flies to New York, signs a contract for $250,000. Why? Because he believed in himself. Because he had the heart and he had the balls. Okay, from there, he packed up everything. He knew that he was destined for something great. He believed in his vision. He understood his purpose was to inspire others. Never to dominate, never to intimidate, always to nurture leadership. You got guys out here, they got 1 million followers. Greg was one of those guys, he had 1 million followers, but he created leaders. He didn't want you to follow. He wanted you to walk by his side. experience what he experienced. Iron sharpens iron. So as we look back and we remember Greg, each and every one of you are here today because you remember the greatness. He touched your life in some way. You identified with him. You feel strong because he showed you how to be strong. That courage is in each and every one of us here today. And Greg's message went in your eyes and in your ears. And now you're a part of that message. Because I was writing down what I was going to speak about today. And I was thinking, man, how can I in 5-10 minutes max sum up somebody who was so important to so many people? And then I wrote down, great. Greg was great. Well, Greg and great. Pretty close, right? The only difference is the A and the T. And that's what made him great. Greg knew where he was at every second of the day. He would show up consistently. He'd be at this expo right now, here today. And he is here today. He'd be at the booth waiting on people from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. because they would be so honored to share a moment with somebody who was willing to find out about what was going on in their life, their struggles, how he could connect, how could he give them something that he yielded from his life to help them along their journey. Greg, greatness, forever tied together because now you're at this moment. You brought yourself here. Now the responsibility is in your court. It's in your hands. We all share greatness. We all saw greatness in Greg. That's because we identified with that. It beats in our own hearts. Okay? 14 days after an embryo is fertilized, 14 days, the cells of an embryo create a heart. Not a brain, but a heart, a beating heart. Greg's heart just beat a little bit stronger, a little bit louder. Probably the next portion of his anatomy created was his balls. Because I tell you, never have I met someone so fearless, and that's the thing. You guys got to remember, behind every ounce of fear, there is a window of opportunity. There is a strength. There is a resilience. There's an energy. Why does it make your heart beat so fast when you're afraid of something? Why? Because that's part of you on the other side. You got to find that. Confront that. Everybody lives in this small paradigm of what they can and what they can't do based on what? Based on fear, doubt, limitation. All that stuff isn't programmed in your body. It's programmed out here. It doesn't exist. And that's what Greg stood for. And that's what each and every one of us will find because his legacy lives on. So if you're not a member of Greg's site and you need motivation, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're 3-time Mr. Olympia. I don't care if you're Sylvester Stallone, because Sylvester Stallone said himself, I'm a member of your website, Greg. You inspired me. Remember, greatness is in each and every one of us. You just have to be at the place to own it, to work for it. Thank you very much.
Please welcome Darren Schneider of Metrics.
Wow, David, I have goosebumps right now listening to him, and there was something that really just stuck out to me and about this, something wrong about me being here on stage today, because I'm just trying to wake up from this fucking nightmare that I'm in right now, that he should be here with us, standing next to all of us, and I'm sorry for that. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to talk about Greg this morning. To know him personally was a privilege. He wasn't just a metrics athlete to me, he was a friend and a confidant. Greg was a man with a very busy schedule, but he would drop everything to give you his time, advice, motivation, and friendship. I remember numerous times at the trade shows where the security would be shutting the lights down and they'd be pushing us out, and we'd continue to talk with the fans until he got to each and every one of them. His passion for health and wellness was contagious. Tens of thousands of fans would flock to his website to gain support they needed to reach their goals. He sincerely cared about his fans. He was emotionally invested in their growth and development. Greg personally taught me so much about living life to my fullest potential and believing in myself, about improving the way you see things and how you view your life. He taught me about becoming a fighter, not settling, and about making life the best version that you can make it. He was a strong believer in balance with your life, with your work, and family, and dieting, and training. He believed that doing too much of the same thing wasn't the way to succeed. You have to set goals. You have to fight. You have to fight a hard fight. Fight through the pain in order to get stronger. He helped me realize He helped me realize that it's okay to fail. Failing builds strength and helps you be better. He told me to focus on the power of the mind, because that is where the strength lies. When your body is yelling to give up, your drive and determination will overcome that. Greg never lost his drive, his hunger. He felt that we can always make improvements in different areas of our lives. He truly lived every aspect of his life, motivating and being a source of inspiration to others. Greg is an icon, leaving quite a legacy behind. And I am sad seeing Greg reach new heights. He had so many great ideas on the horizon and so much more to do in his life. I'll never be able to make sense of Greg's passing, but I know that his voice will be in my head, motivating me to live my life to the fullest. That is the best way I know to honor the man and the legend that he was. We'll miss you, Greg.
Please welcome Benais Begovic, owner, publisher, Iron Man magazine.
It was May last year. I picked Greg up at Stockholm International Airport. He flew in from Turkey. Before that, he was somewhere else, probably inspiring thousands of people, jumping out of airplanes or chasing crocodiles. It was 10 p.m. I asked him if he was hungry. He said nope. I asked if he was tired. He said, no man, I'm good. He asked me if there was anything fun to do in Stockholm that Thursday night. I said, Greg, we have a 3-day expo ahead. Don't you want to get some rest? He told me, man, I was just stuck on an airplane for 3 hours. I want to go do something fun. The day after, he held a seminar. Almost 2,000 people, different ages, from different parts of the country showed up and didn't move from their seats for hours during Greg's seminar. Every word that came out of his mouth was holy. His energy, wisdom, and inspiration was magical. The only problem was that we had a schedule to follow and needed a stage for our next program. I was able to make eye contact with Greg, and I made a gesture to cut it off. He nodded and gave me a thumb up. 20 minutes later, he was still on that stage. It was just one example of his boundless energy, his passion for inspiring people, and his incredible work ethic. I would like to read one of Greg's many amazing quotes. If you don't give 110% in your life, I promise your life will haunt you for the rest of your days. Time is the most valuable asset on earth, a depreciating asset. Don't waste another moment of life where you are not at your fullest potential, getting the most out of the time you have in life. End of quote. I spoke to Greg the day before the accident, and we were both excited about my acquisition of Iron Man magazine. He had so many ideas and suggestions for his upcoming column in the first issue under my ownership. I had big dreams for my new magazine, and I wanted my friend to be a big part of it. The next day he was gone. The world had lost one of its shining stars. I had lost a friend. It was devastating. Through his website, magazines, and his appearances, he inspired thousands of people. Even more than that, he changed many people's lives. His legacy will live on forever. I am dedicating our next Ironman issue, which is also the first issue under my ownership, to Greg. It's my utmost honor to continue spreading the word and his legacy to Ironman magazine. Greg, you will be missed but never forgotten. Rest in peace, my friend.
Last but not least, please welcome Per Bernal.
Hey guys, my voice is kind of gone, so I heard like a long speech, but I'm just going to say a few things. I met Greg about 10 years ago, and I immediately knew that this was someone very, very special. It's a man, the kind of man you meet once in a lifetime. We worked together on many, many covers and training shoots. And I got to know this guy that is, I would call him a Renaissance man. He had so many sides to him, not just like a perfect cover guy with a perfect physique. He had a lot of soul, very philosophical, and we spoke about everything between heaven and earth. You know, he had an opinion about everything. I think his message was conquer your fear. Take your life, live your life, take your potential and do the most of it. Don't let your fear stand, in your way. And I think by disciplining your body and mind, this is possible. He was a perfectionist. A lot of people has been shooting for me. I'm known for pushing people very, very far. But with him it was almost the opposite. He was pushing me, to be the best I could be. A lot of times, I said, usually I say, let's try one more set, one more rep, one more shot. And what he used to do is come up to my camera, look at him and just say, hey, listen, Per, I think we can make it one more time. I think I could do it better. It's a legacy. What he did is the only other person like in this industry is he's like an Arnold Schwarzenegger of fitness. He will be remembered. He's always going to stay with me. Whenever I had a downtime, I could just lift the phone, give him a call, and he would try to see the positive, turn something negative into a positive thing. I miss you, guy. I miss you, Greg. There was so much more that could have been done. I was looking forward, just like the night. I spoke to him the night before the accident. He was so happy. It's like, you seemed so perfect at the time. He had been working so hard. It finally seemed like he had met a beautiful girl. He had his life in front of him. His kids, marriage. I was just so happy for him, finally he's going to be able to enjoy this fruit of their hard labor. It wasn't meant to be. And it saddens me because there were so many more chapters that have been written. We had so many plans, moving forward. Even talking about doing a quarterly magazine called Greg, that I wanted to, focus what he had to share with the world. This guy was something else. Has so much spirit, so much knowledge, so much wisdom. And it's just taken from us so suddenly. And doesn't feel fair, and it's like, it's been very, very hard to understand, you know, why did this need to happen? This guy had so much to share with us. I mean, we're happy, he has a legacy. I think with his website, all the quotes he has shared with us, we have something great to build upon. I mean, he has inspired millions of people to change their life. I think we could carry this legacy and continue his job, his vision, because it was a vision he had. You know, be the best you can be. Don't be afraid. I'll give you the tools you need to meet your fears. You know, it's like he said, you know, behind fear, if you could just conquer your fear, you could meet the real you. That's also my personal experience. You know, like through hard work, you know, love what you do it well, the money will come, success will come, and you will inspire other people as well. And I think that's perhaps the best thing you could do for your people around you. Greg, I miss you. Rest in peace. There's so much more we could have done together with your family. My love goes out to his father, mother, girlfriend, sister. We're never going to see another Greg. Hopefully there's someone else though out there that, you know, through the inspiration Greg shared with us, could step up to the plate. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for being my friend. It's an honor to go next, you know, by your side and see how much you're growing as a man. Very special. Love you, bro. Thank you so much.